Hi everybody, NM Fitness Channel bringing you a really important video this week. This one is how to do stats. Now what are stats? So stats are basically a way for you to be able to track the results that you are achieving each month and being able to see how your body is changing over time. I'm going to show on the screen now our stat sheet. What this does is you can see it shows a lot of different information. Body measurements and analyzed measurements. I recommend everybody to get a body analyzer scale. Now this is not a basic weighing scale. This is a scale that's actually going to show you your body fat, your BMR, your BMI, your muscle percent, your water, lots and lots of information. You can see we track that on our sheets. The second half of the sheet is doing measurements using a measuring tape. Now, when you do these guys, there's going to be specific places that you should be measuring. And these measurements that we're doing today are the ones that we use. Now, obviously, you can add extra ones yourself, but these are the ones that we think are most important. I recommend getting the same person to measure you each time, so they're putting the tape in the same places. And also, it's helpful to have a third person with you so that they can write down as you measure. It saves a lot of time. That's just a bonus tip for you. So guys, here we go. This is how to use the measuring tape to measure the person you're measuring. Okay, so we're now going to show you the points where we use the measuring tape. First one is shoulders. Now I go by a little bit low on the shoulder. This is usually the largest point of the shoulder, about 1.5 inches from the top of the shoulder itself. We measure that. And remember guys, you can do this in millimeters, inches, centimeters. Personally, I do centimeters, but if you want to get more detailed, you can go to millimeters. Arms up, we're going to do the chest. Now obviously, gentlemen, if you're measuring the ladies can place in the center, and it wants to be at the largest point of the chest. Drop the arms. Drop the arms, and we're going to measure around the back here. Then we're going to move on to the arms. Right arm first, and right arm. And what we like to do is with a flex. We don't do flexing other places, but we do this one on the arm. Place the tape around the peak of the bicep. You usually find there's a bit of a point right in the center. And you're going to just measure right around there for the measurement on the upper arm, the right side. And then on the left side, measuring the left side. Make sure it's on the peak. And again, if you can measure on skin, you're not going to get any extra material adding any extra millimeters or centimeters. You want to be honest with your measurements. Now we're going to do the middle. And again, you know, if you can wear a figure hugging outfit or something like that, this t-shirt is perfect because it's not going to cause a lot of ruffles and things that are going to get caught under the tape. We do upper waist, that is just below the diaphragm and on the upper abdominal. So you don't want it on the diaphragm, you want it on the first set of abdominals. Next one is going to be the middle waist, and this is going to be just above the belly button. So feel for where the belly button dip is, and then measure just there. So that's really the what most people measure as the waistline. And again, checking on the side. Then we go to the lower tummy or the lower abs. And again, some people call this the hip area. I call this lower waist or lower abs. And this is just below the belly button. So the first one was on the upper abs. The second one was just above the belly button. And the third one is just below the belly button. And then we measure there. Then we're going to go to the glutes or the butt. We're going to measure around the butt, and what you get your partner to do is they're going to reach around the back and place their hands in the middle of their butt, making sure the tape is on the largest point of the glutes. So that way you don't have to reach in there and do it yourselves. Okay, and then we measure that there. Don't squeeze that too tight, just make it natural. Now we move on to the thigh. They want to keep themselves neutral so they're not bending the leg or putting any weight on it. We don't want any contraction or tension there. Right in the center of the thigh. And we measure that there, right in the center of the thigh. If I had my third person here, I'd be calling out the measurements and they can be writing them down. Saves you a lot of time from going to here to measurement, to here to measurement. I do the other leg, so we go around to the other side, and I highly recommend going to the other side for that. You don't want to be trying to measure and reaching your arms right out. Come around the other side and do the other side. And then on to the last one, which is the calf. And again, the largest point of the calf, wrap that round, measure that, and then measure the other side. The tape wants to be going over itself as you measure, guys, and that way you can judge that just right each time. There are obviously different measuring tapes you can use. This is just basically a simple tailoring measuring tape that I use. And that's it, guys. That's how you do the measurements with the measuring tape. Remember, you'll need a body analyzer scale to break down all the other components. There is conjecture and argument about analyzer scales on how accurate they are. Here's a way of thinking, guys. If you use the same scales and it says your body fat is 21%, that's just what that machine tells you. Now, that may be not absolutely 110% accurate, but it is what that machine says. Then the next time you measure yourself using that machine again, and it says you are now 20.5%, then that machine says you have dropped. And I highly recommend as well doing your analyzer scale measurements or your percentages when you are empty, when you haven't eaten. So if you're during your fasted period, or it's first thing in the morning, just after you've been to the bathroom, and you can do your measurements then, that's going to probably give you the most accurate readings. Thank you very much, Natty, for helping us with that. Guys, if you would like an NN Fitness Channel stats sheet, we can email it to you, and that way you can track your own measurements. Or if you get your analyzer scale, you can do that as well. I'm going to throw a bonus in here, by the way. A lot of analyzer scales these days will actually come along with an app you can use on your phone, so you can also track it that way. But if you want a hard copy, send us an email, nnfitnessonline@gmail.com, and you can use our stat sheet to track your results and see if you're changing every single month. Remember, guys, if you want a stat sheet, send us an email, nnfitnessonline@gmail.com. Become a full member and we'll get those results rolling. Hey guys, extra bonus tip. There are some fantastic body measurement apps out there. We have found our favorite and added a link in the description. And if you're looking for a body analyzer scale, we've also added a link in the description to our favorite. Please make sure to like, subscribe and comment.